find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.
Welcome to Butch Maxwell's Complete Waste of Airtime. Today for Wednesday, February 16th, Abraham Lincoln's birthday, as I recall. I don't
is
even
it?
see, I think it is, yeah. I mean, remember that from school. Back before we had President's Day, we celebrated Lincoln's birthday on the 16th and Washington's birthday on the 22nd. And I'm saying this straight from my own
You
memory.
memorized
I remember
really
that.
well.
Yes, and I mean, this goes back to grade school or something, But yeah, so today is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And
Well, so when's President's Day?
President's Day is this coming Monday, and it's the third Monday in February always.
And so
So it can
nothing will be open.
right. Well, yeah, there'll be stores open with
Well, yeah,
President's
but I
Day
mean-
sales and stuff like that. But yeah, you won't get mail. Nothing official you can do. But of course, people like us will still work. So, in fact, I'm a professor at universities, and none of the universities that I work for are taking the day off on Monday.
Wonder if the city schools do.
Yeah, I don't know. They may. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, since I don't have kids in school anymore, I'm just not that in tune to that
So
sort of stuff.
You're like me, you don't know what flippers is or whatever that was.
What is?
It's some kid's show. that-
Oh, flippers or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't.
Peg. Now, see, I love Peppa Pig.
Oh, yeah.
I think Peppa Pig is cool.
Is that a PBS show or a?
I think it's animated and they're British pig.
Okay. Oh, okay. British pigs.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I
right.
really like
Are they posh pigs or I mean, do they speak in that Queen's English type, or are they more Cockney pigs?
I think they're more Cockney.
Cockney, huh?
And there's a live show coming.
Oh, okay.
So I think, I've got a niece and nephew that might be really interested in Peppa Pig.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine I'm going to be much more in tune to this in the coming years because I've got two little grandchildren now, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
so-
you will learn.
Yeah.
Like the Wiggles, I learned all about the Wiggles and things like that from John's kids.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it was
right.
like suffer through another Wiggles song.
Yeah, I think my kids were just a little bit too old
Too
for
old
for that, and for the what's the other? There was other British there were Teletubbies. They were just a bit old for that too. Thank heaven. But they were right there for Barney.
Controversy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. Barney.
Yeah, it was
I lived
terrible.
through that too. It's like, oh, if I see another Barney, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, it was
But
bad.
anyway,
Yeah. Well, yes. Anyway, we are smack dab in the middle of February. That means we're getting closer to spring every day. I mean, today it feels a little spring-like.
it's beautiful
like
out
60.
today. It's absolutely beautiful.
Tomorrow it's going to be warm and about 60 again. It's going to rain tomorrow, though. But that's spring-like, I guess. So, I don't know if you have any yard cleanup to do. I know I've got downed trees in my yard and all kinds of
I would save them because they're saying thunderstorms
Yeah,
tomorrow. So
yeah.
just let them build up.
Yeah, maybe
They'll
so.
still be there when it all quits.
We may have some high winds tomorrow too.
Yeah.
So gotta be.
I'm curious. We have a new member of the zoo.
Oh, we do.
Yes,
Okay. You mean the good zoo or
my zoo.
your zoo?
My
Okay,
zoo.
you're Lola Zoo. Yeah.
She's a Chihuahua miniature pinscher mix.
Oh, how adorable.
Oh yeah, she is, isn't she? She's 2 years old, and she's about about a foot
Okay,
high.
about a foot high. Yeah.
She bounces like a bunny, and she will actually jump up into my arm.
Really?
Right?
Wow.
But she's just super active. We have a wicker basket filled with cat toys. Well, it was filled with cat toys. You have to watch where you walk and do not walk into a dark room because there are just toys everywhere. And she's got this thing about stuffed animals, and where she's digging them out of, I have no idea. But she's pulling all these stuffed animals out, and you find teddy bears and this and that all over the house. And but she's a trip.
Oh.
She is
What's her name?
Gigi.
Gigi.
Well, actually, she was named XIXI,
Okay.
and they were calling her Zizi. And I said, that's not how you pronounce
Yeah,
that.
Gigi,
It's Xi, like Xi Jinping, and that
right,
kind of thing.
right.
So we just call her Gigi. And, but she, she's a cuddle dog, wants to sleep with you, and all. But you never know what you're going to find. She buries things in the blankets, and it has been. I mean, we didn't have to doggy or baby-proof the house for Gretchen.
Yeah.
She just didn't. And they were about the same age. I've forgotten how you have to doggy-proof a house. I mean, because she just, and she just bounces all across the furniture. It's
Oh, that's
it's a
great.
trip.
Now, the Chihuahua in her. I had a mixed Chihuahua, part toy poodle, part Chihuahua. Loved that dog. It was named by my ex-wife at the time. My current wife. She was my current wife at the time, but she named her Angel, which was a total misnomer because that dog, he loved us, but hated everybody else. Just bit everybody. Just was afraid of everybody. Just because they're very tiny and so
Yeah.
they're protective. So you may find that she's extraordinarily protective as compared to Gretchen too.
No, she really, we haven't. I'm leery about taking her anywhere. And I was told she would be good in the car. Well, she is for short trips, like to the beer store.
Yeah.
But I took her in the car to take Linda to work, which is, just Elm Grove
Yeah.
from the house. And she was okay as long as Linda was in the car and she was sitting on Linda's lap. Well, then coming home, one thing, her little paws are so tiny that she kept hitting the window button.
Oh,
And so I'm like trying to grab at her, roll the window up, and drive down the road. And so I made her sit on the seat. Well, then because she couldn't look out,
yeah.
she started having like an anxiety attack. But when it comes to, the few people that she has run across, like our neighbors across the street, she acts real skittish, but if you don't make a sudden move, boy, she's on you then.
Really?
And she's behaved really well. So
Well, that's
we
good.
shall see. I mean, I was just so used to Gretchen
Yeah.
going like everywhere. I never worried about Gretchen at all.
You didn't even have to put her on a leash, did you?
She was, I know. She just,
Just was right there with you.
yeah. This one, she's learning, like to wait at the curb and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Do you take your dogs for obedience training, or you just do it yourself?
I took Gretchen to, I think, 5 because I paid for a package.
Yeah.
And really, she didn't really need it. She didn't really need it.
Yeah.
And then we just never,
Yeah.
Now, she was taking classes, but it was for agility and that kind
Oh,
of
okay.
stuff,
Yeah.
No, Gretchen was just, that's what I keep saying. It's a good thing probably I've got a dog that's kind of a dumb bunny because, well, Gretchen, she was just a good dog.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not so sure about, but she's a lot of fun. And,
Oh,
you
I'm
know.
sure you'll love her just as much, just in her own way, in your own way.
Yeah, and it's funny if she does something bad. Gretchen used to, I could shame her in a heartbeat. This one, you say something to her like, that was bad, and she just turns away. She will not look at you, Like, now, I told you you were bad.
I'm not paying attention. I don't hear that.
No. Like, no. I can't hear you. But
Yeah.
so,
Well, of course, I'm a cat owner only, just cats right now, just one cat, and having so many cats too. You can't tell cats, oh, bad cat. Like who cares what you think?
I know. It's their house and they let you live
That's
there.
right.
Only because you feed them.
That's it.
know.
That's it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, mine have just been going crazy with this uber cold.
Mm-hmm.
Now two of the boys will go out But boy, they're right back at the
right back,
door. You
sure.
know, it doesn't, you just go out and go to the bathroom, I think, and come back
Oh,
in.
yeah, I can't blame them.
But they're climbing the walls. And then, you know, we have integrating the dog who wants to play with all of them.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
she just likes to chase them and play with them. It's been an interesting month.
I'll bet it
An
has, yeah.
interesting month, I can tell you.
Oh, that's great. We do have a few things to talk about today, but I've got a lot of open time. I don't have a guest coming in. I do next week. I'll have a guest coming in, but this week I just thought I'd take the hour to just talk, you and me, one on one, and I'm talking to you, the listener. You can call me by calling 304-214-1600 if I say anything that provokes you, or if you just have something else that you have on your mind. A few things I did bring to the table to talk about today is a social media campaign that's been launched statewide that is definitely racist, absolutely unabashedly racist. It's a pro-life racist campaign, so that's something we can talk about. Also, the West Virginia Senate, we'll just mention this briefly here, that the West Virginia Senate did pass that anti-abortion bill that I talked about last week. I'll fill you in on that a little bit. Also, yet again, another topic I brought up briefly last week that continues to evolve is this myth that critical race theory is being taught in West Virginia schools. Also, the Washington Avenue Bridge is finally about to reopen, and why the Super Bowl halftime show annoyed some people, and I've got my own speculation on that, but maybe you have some ideas too. And if you were one of the people that were particularly annoyed by it, definitely call in and tell me about it, because this is one of those areas in which I am seeking to understand. And finally, one other thing I want to talk about, and it's I want to pay an homage to the late director Ivan Reitman, who passed away the past couple of days. So again, your calls are always welcome at 304-214-1600, and you'll be talking to me, Butch Maxwell, on my complete waste of airtime. So yes, first up, a West Virginia legislator has filed a lawsuit against a pro-life organization over a racist email that she received. I had to check this out myself to see what it looked like. It's pretty. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy.
Yes.
There's a KKK-themed email that is in support of West Virginia for Life, this depicts a hooded Ku Klux Klansman throwing a Nazi salute directed to the recipient. It's been posted widely on Facebook, and it was emailed directly to a number of people. These digital communications were designed by West Virginians for Life, apparently to harass, intimidate, and strike fear of violence into people who might support a woman's right to choose. The lawsuit was filed earlier this week in the Kanawha County Circuit Court, and the delegate who got this, the legislator, was Danielle Walker, and she's from Berkeley County. She's a Democrat, supports pro-life legislation, or I'm sorry, pro-choice legislation, and she has taken this as being excuse me, an act of I'm going to.
Bless you.
Here we go. There. Thank you. Thank you for
Just
covering.
sneeze.
Just sneeze.
Don't worry about
I wasn't trying to hold it back. It just didn't come. Anyway, yes, this West Virginia delegate is deeply concerned about this, and she feels personally harassed having received this. So she's passed a lawsuit. Meanwhile, the West Virginia House of Delegates has passed a bill that would ban abortions after the first 15 weeks of pregnancy. I did mention this last week. This is among the most draconian bills in the United States. Texas still beats us for having one of the most restrictive abortion laws, but this one is it is not a law yet. It's still just a bill that's passed one house. It's passed the Senate, so it'll have to go through the House. I don't think it's going to have any problem being passed, but But this bill would tell anybody who wants to get an abortion after 15 weeks, they can't get it anymore. And there are exceptions in case of
No, there
not in case of rape or incest, but in case of the fetal
severe
yeah,
abnormality.
severe abnormality and stuff. I'm not sure fetal abnormality. I don't think it has in case of a medical emergency for the mother necessarily either. So the bill passed by a huge margin, 81 to 18. 81 to 18. So if you are a pro-life person, then I think you can just sort of relax and think, great. But if you line up more on the pro-choice side, if you think that women should have any say at all in their rights to how they their reproductive rights, then you might want to check and see what your local delegate, how your local delegate voted on this particular issue.
What I really take offense to, and I know Lisa Zukov said, had they had the amendments that they struck down for this, that would include incest and rape,
Yeah.
she would have gone ahead and voted for it, but they struck those amendments out, and there was a woman that was on, she's, I think, a delegate, on television being interviewed, and she's absolutely pro-life. She believes that life begins at a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what about in cases of rape and incest? And she said that it makes no difference that a child is conceived. But it is a child, and therefore, there should be no difference. And
So if the mother was brutally raped and
Well,
beaten
and
and
that's
all
my
that,
argument,
then she
is
still
that-
has to have that baby.
how dare you put the mother's, particularly mental health,
Yeah.
so that every single day she is reliving
Yeah,
the worst experience that she will ever have in her life.
right.
And, I just, I don't, I can't abide by people opposing or imposing their will on everyone else.
Yeah.
No one is telling anyone you have to have. This is not China.
Right, yeah.
Where, women were forced to have abortions because they could only have one child apiece, and heaven help them if it was a girl. Your morality is your morality.
Yeah.
Don't impose it on me.
Yeah.
It's just like religion. Your religion is between you and your God, and, what I choose to believe and who I choose to pray to is my own business.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about this. It's my choice. It's between me, my doctor, and my God.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you know how to live better than I know how to live my life.
Exactly.
I have no patience for it.
Well-
How dare anybody try and determine the way everybody else's life has to be? What makes you any more wise or smart or to tell everybody else how they should live?
Right.
Go live your own life. Don't worry about mine.
Yeah. Listen to, check your own hypocrisy for a moment. Are you the kind of person who believes that the government shouldn't interfere with people, that people should be allowed to live their own lives? Do you embrace the idea of freedom and liberty and things like that? Then how is this consistent? That the government then could come in and tell a woman whether or not she's allowed to terminate a pregnancy. This seems to me that's totally anti-conservative, just ridiculous. And the same with drug laws too. Just really not consistent with conservative thinking. And I'm well familiar with conservative thinking because, as I've said, I know probably obnoxiously too many times, but I come from a long line of conservatives. I was raised in a, very conservative family. I didn't turn out that way because I do think for myself, but I do understand, and I'm still seeking to understand too. So if you can help me out, if you can help me to better understand how you balance this inconsistency, if you are one of these people that that is very pro-life and then I'd like to understand it. I'd just like to understand you better a little bit. So I don't know. If you have any inclination to give me a call, we're at the bottom of the hour, so we got a lot of time. When we come back, maybe we'll take some calls. If not, we'll move on. I've got some other good stuff to talk about and some fun stuff too. I'm not just going to spend the whole hour complaining, but I do have a couple of other grievances to bring up too. So more airings of grievances and a little bit of fun.
Festivus
It's
again?
Festivus for the rest of us, yes. Airings of grievances coming up on the second half of Butch Maxwell's Complete Waste of Airtime right here on the Watchdog Network, and we will be right back.
The Mountaineer basketball team makes a date for next Thanksgiving. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Caridi. That story coming up on today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing. So we do freshness checks on the items in your delivery order at every step of their journey from our farms to our stores. And pick and pack every blue, raz, and strawberry in your free pickup order with the utmost care. Because we believe in treating your food the same way we'd want ours to be treated. It's the golden rule, only for like fresh fruit and stuff. Order now using the mobile app. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply. 42 million Americans struggle with hunger, yet 35% of the food in this country is wasted. Those aren't just numbers. They're our neighbors, your daughter's friend from school, the family of 4 next door. The Kroger Company's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation is committed to making fresh food accessible to all by ensuring it never goes to waste. Together, we can help end hunger. Learn more at zerohunger.zerowastefoundation.org.
What had been speculated is now confirmed. Jumping ahead to next season for the Mountaineer men's basketball team, they will participate in the Phil Knight Legacy event next Thanksgiving weekend in Portland, Oregon. Now, this event honors Nike's founder Phil Knight for his contributions to the sport of college basketball. 8 Nike Elite sponsored teams will be traveling to the event in Portland, and that field includes Duke, Florida, Gonzaga, Oregon State, Portland State, Purdue, West Virginia, and Xavier. Those teams have combined for 199 NCAA tournament appearances, 29 Final Fours, 7 NCAA titles. Each team will play 1 game per day in a bracket-styled format. Meanwhile, the Mountaineer baseball team getting ready to open up regular season play will be in Conway, South Carolina this weekend, an event which will be hosted by Coastal Carolina. WVU will open the season on Friday as they take on Central Michigan. Then on Saturday, they'll meet up against Kent State, and then Central Michigan again coming up on Sunday. WVU wrestling team welcoming Wyoming to the Coliseum on Friday night. This will mark the Mountaineers' regular season finale. It will be seniors night inside the WVU Coliseum. Mountaineer wrestlers had their first Big 12 victory of the season last weekend, defeating Utah Valley State. And the Mountaineer rifle team, 4th rated in the country, begins postseason competition this Saturday. The Mountaineers hosting VMI and North Georgia in NCAA qualifier. That is today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Pittsburgh Penguins star Sidney Crosby scored the 500th goal of his career yesterday for the Pittsburgh Penguins in an overtime victory over the Flyers. The 34-year-old is the second player in franchise history to score his 500th career goal. The other is Mario Lemieux. PGA Tour is in California. They will get round number 1 underway tomorrow of the Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club. The defending champion is Max Homa. The NASCAR Cup Series is in Daytona. Tomorrow night, the Blue Green vacations duels are set for Daytona International Speedway before the NASCAR season officially gets underway Sunday afternoon with the Daytona 500. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by the Score on the Watchdog.
There's no part of our bodies that put in more work than our feet. And with all that work, your feet can start to ache. But luckily, there's relief for our overworked feet. Skechers Arch Fit footwear for men and women. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. They used 20 years of data and over 120,000 unweighted foot scans to create a podiatrist-certified insole that distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have. And with all that support comes extreme comfort. Skechers are the fit and comfort specialists, and Arch Fit shoes from Skechers provide expert comfort whether walking or just standing. They're so comfortable, they're not just for people with tired, achy feet. Everybody can enjoy just how amazing they feel. Plus, many are machine washable, so even though you'll be wearing them all day, every day, you can easily keep them looking new. So give yourself some soothing comfort and support with podiatrist-certified Skechers Arch Fit footwear. Your overworked feet will thank you. See all the styles of Arch Fit footwear for men and women at Skechers.com, the Skechers store near you, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
The Mountain East Conference basketball tournament is back at West Banco Arena in Wheeling, March 2nd through the 6th. Tickets are on sale now. All session adult seats start at $72. Visit westbancoarena.com for tickets or mountaineast.org for tournament info. And you can follow the entire tournament live online at mountaineast.tv or wvmetronews.com. The Mountain East basketball tournament is presented by the Health Plan and brought to you by The Highlands, Cal Caruth Roofing, and by Robinson Auto Group.
Always on Talkline on Metro News, we talk with the leaders of the state of West Virginia, like Governor Jim Justice. And on a recent show, the governor said he would consider a pay raise for public employees and school teachers during the next session of the legislature.
We'll absolutely look at it. And from my standpoint, I would be a proponent, because I want to try to help any and everybody I possibly can.
Keep up with what's happening in West Virginia. Talkline, weekdays at 10:06 right here on this Metro News radio station. We'll talk to you then.
And that song just makes me feel like it's a party. And we're having a party. Lola and me, and you too. You can join in on the party if you'd like to. Call in to the Watchdog Network here on Butch Maxwell's Complete Waste of Airtime. The number is 304-214-1600. And as always, as long as you're respectful, you're certainly allowed to disagree with me, take me to task, whatever. I'll treat you the same. I'll be respectful and all of that. Meanwhile, everybody's talking about it. Yes, the Super Bowl halftime show. Did you watch it, Lola?
I saw about half of it.
Did you?
I was driving
Oh,
somewhere.
okay, yeah, so
So.
you couldn't really watch it then. I watched it, and in fact, I actually had the Super Bowl on this year. Not that I cared, but no, my wife wanted to watch it. And so, I did what I do, what a college professor would do when Super Bowl's on. I read, but I looked up and I watched it occasionally, and I actually kind of enjoyed the halftime show, even though it wasn't really the kind of music that I typically like. It was, in my estimation, a spectacular show as far as the way it was presented. Just the show, from the show business aspect, it was kind of amazing. But there has been a lot of backlash. So we have a call right now. Let's see what our caller has to say.
It is Tom.
It's Tom. Okay, Tom, how are you?
Pretty good, Butch. I kind of missed you the last couple of weeks. I don't know.
Must have been busy. I know, it's a weird time.
Frying bigger fish or something.
Yeah. Wednesday, the middle of the week, the middle of the day. Kind of tough, but I'm glad you're with us today.
Well, the halftime show, at least it gave me a chance to go and get something to eat.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
The kitchen isn't in the same room as the TV, so I mean.
Yeah, it really isn't my kind of music either. But I can enjoy it. And somehow, I don't know. This was mostly hip hop and rap music from the '90s,
Right.
and I think music tends to age well. I don't know. Some music does anyway. And hearing Eminem sing and stuff, all of a sudden, I just felt I don't know. I had a pretty good feeling. I mean, I didn't go out and buy those albums when they were out new, but I thought it was pretty good, and I thought the show itself was amazingly well coordinated. But
It's kind of funny they could put all that together and then be playing football 10 minutes later.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Who does that?
Yeah, just the Super Bowl, just the NFL, and they pull it off. And I think it was probably kind of a good bit of PR for the NFL too, because so often, I mean, up until I think the 1993 or 1992, they it was marching bands and stuff like that. And what really changed it was when they invited Michael Jackson to come in, and that sort of changed the whole game. And really, Michael Jackson was kind of beyond the peak of his career. He was still very popular, but I think that really kind of changed the tenure of things. And of course, in years since, they've had the Rolling Stones and the Who and all sorts of things. But I think if you ask the players what kind of music they like, you're going to find hip hop and rap is among the top of them. Don't you think?
Oh, really?
No? Well, I don't know.
I don't follow too much. Speaking of beyond their years or whatever, it'd be the Rolling Stones. But I mean, that's just me. I love the Rolling Stones, but you're right. Mick Jagger, he can't sing. He couldn't sing 20 years ago. Like Aerosmith, trying to watch Steven Tyler after the fourth song, he really can't sing all that long.
Oh, those incredible high notes and stuff. And no, it's tough. He's older. I forgive him, but just don't do it anymore. Don't pretend to do it anymore if you can't.
But my daily rant is
yes.
Well, it's been going on. I've been trying to get this off my chest. Okay, so they legalized all this gambling with FanDuel and all this stuff, and I know they're in advertiser rules and everything.
Right.
But now I was listening to the numbers. They says, it used to be it was $7 billion a year or something being spent on this gambling. Now it's like $24 billion. Okay, so for all you people that are gambling and losing your money, and this money's going into some rat hole, and it's going to people like Donald Trump. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
People think can care less about whether you have health care, whether you have an abortion. They don't care about any of that.
Right.
They just want that money. But I just and then these people, other people, for $440,000, you can fly into space for like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can do those two things, I want to be able to take mescaline and LSD at least like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I want to pass.
I'm with you, Tom, on that totally.
I want this stuff, and I want to trip my brains out some weekend, and be scared to open my, be looking out my blinds, scared to death, paranoid. I want that feeling. If these guys can, it's opulent society they live in, and they just think, it was only $500,000. What the hell?
Yeah.
And it lasted the whole 35 seconds or whatever. I mean, come on, man. Jeez.
I think a lot of it's for bragging rights too. I was in space. Look at me, I'm in space and all that. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And the thing is, of course, to your point, is it just seems like the rich keep getting richer. There's the income disparity. This is evidence based. The evidence is very clear. In 1969, the minimum wage was $1.60, and in 2019, it was I think it was $7.25. But in real dollars, what that comes down to is you're paid less than $1.60 an hour in 2019 or 2017.
In 1979, you can get health insurance for anywhere from $30 to $50.
Oh yeah. You could go to a
real health insurance. And now, I mean, like United Healthcare and all this stuff, if they can advertise every 15 seconds or probably more than that, constantly.
Yeah.
But that money isn't being spent at hospitals. I mean, okay, you just spent 12 years of your life to become a doctor. Oh, the guy that owns the insurance company makes like 10 times more than you.
Yes.
How's that make you feel? You know what I mean?
That's incredible.
I just had to get these things off my chest.
I appreciate that, Tom, and I appreciate our being the forum for you to relieve your chest a little bit.
and anybody that's like, that guy's a drug addict. What the hell's about? He needs to be. There's a place for people like him. Well, sign me up. Because I haven't tripped in like 20 years, and I want to know how it feels.
Me either.
Kill me.
I think it is. It's something that I think in the end of life I'm going to do it again for sure. Anyway. anyway.
As long as it doesn't have fentanyl. My luck could have fentanyl.
Right, yeah, there you're right,
Check,
you're right.
please. The elevator's going down.
That's it, you're done now. Great.
All right.
Hey, thanks for your call, Tom, appreciate it. Tom, one of our regular callers here, and I do appreciate his input.
Seriously, you could trip again?
I could do it. I could do it. I think I would want a controlled situation. You know, I think that would be. I actually found it very spiritually uplifting. I mean, I was one of those weird people that actually got insights from it. That
That
it wasn't
was
just
back
for partying.
then.
Yeah. So
Now, with all the stress of everyday living and
it
everything
might
else,
break everything down to be simple again. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to give it a go.
or it could just be a real hair-raising experience.
It could be, yeah, I could totally see that. Before we get into anything else, though, we do have another caller on the line. I did want to talk about a couple of other things, including a little bit of shameless self-promotion, because it is, after all, me. But let's talk a little bit about Ivan Reitman, because I don't want to run out of time. I do have a phone call here, though, so let's take that first, and then we can get around.
All right, this is Durbin.
Oh, Durbin, hey, how you doing?
Well, I know this. If we was in a snowball fight, you and Tom would be on the same team.
Probably would, yeah, unfortunately, Durbin. But I like you, and I appreciate your calling. But I know.
Well, first of all, I want to say your opinions are they're priceless a lot of times. They're not worth nothing.
Okay.
And you know, so I got smoke blowing your way, but that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, I do.
Smoke?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you want to bring to the table is fine, as long as we're respectful, and you always are. So.
Yes, I am. And the thing about when you was talking about earlier about abortions and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, personally, I think the government should stay the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, but here's my problem. I want the government to stay out of the other end of it, the money end. I don't think that taxpayers should pay for somebody to have an abortion.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree.
You know,
with you. I agree.
I had a friend years ago. She came to me. She said, "I'm in trouble," and she said, "I need some money," and I give her the money. I always kind of felt guilty about that. I mean, as far as things go, but that's okay. But that's one of the problems I have. And there again, it's all about money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know the answer to it. I don't think that nobody knows the answer to it because everybody's, you know, it's on their conscience, however they want to go. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and I think that's a sensible perspective. And also coming from someone who I assume generally identifies as conservative, then I think you're being at least consistent. That'll keep the government the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I think that, and I could be wrong about this. I'm not an expert, but I do, do try to keep up on such things. And I think the government right now, the federal government, does not fund abortion. That they do give funds to organizations like Planned Parenthood, but they earmark it and say this cannot be used for the termination of a pregnancy. It can only be for education and things like that. So.
Right, but you know as well as I do that a lot of things go beyond behind closed doors, and they earmark money for here, and it goes there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, look what Reagan and I can't think of the guy's name. They bought the weapons and
Oliver North. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Good old Ollie.
Yeah.
Good old Ollie. Yeah. And I mean, you know, so I mean that's the problem. I think the biggest thing that could happen to our country, to be the most wonderful thing that ever happened, is everybody would get honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that would take a real change in human nature because we are liars, we lie all the time.
Well,
sometimes we lie to benefit other people. It's not that the lies are all terrible.
Those are lies. You got to tell a woman when she gets her hair done.
Yeah, how nice she looks. Right. Yeah. That's right. No, darling, your butt does not look big in those jeans. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I seen one of my ex-wives one time, and she said, "Well, you've gotten gray." She's always had real cool black hair, and I looked at her and I said, "Well, you've gotten fat." But anyway, what I was going to say is, you never want to tell a woman that gets her hair done that they give you a hat with that haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because it don't work. I mean, they just, you know. And I can understand. That's a pride thing with them. But no, you know what? I ain't got to really talk about today too much. I just heard Tom wanting to get high, and you wanting to get high.
Yeah.
Lola likes to drink, I think.
Yeah, Lola's not a druggie, and
Lola will stay with the alcohol at this point in my
go,
life.
Lola.
I just,
well, I'm not a user of hallucinogens either. Typically, it's been many years, but I did confess that I could see under the right circumstances doing it again. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand that, and I don't drink anymore because, you know, when I quit drinking, they shut a brewery down. I've been sober about 11 and a half years.
Oh, good for you.
Right. I mean, because I was somebody that, you know, and that's just like that other stuff. There's people that abuse the heck out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If you want to smoke your dope in your own house, I think that's your business.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you sitting at a stoplight have a big doobie out there like Cheech and Chong.
Right.
You know.
I totally agree with you. I think you've given me a little, you renewed my faith a little bit in conservative thinking, and I appreciate your input onto into this radio
you know,
show.
I can't understand why you're not talking about the news of the day.
What's the news? What do you want to talk about?
Well, what about Hillary in this schmeal with the buying people to tape the phone conversations at the White House and everything? What do you think about that?
Gee, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that, Durbin. I can I'll check on that story, and next week I'll bring it up. And if I don't, you call me up and bring it up again, and then at least I'll know something about it. If this is something that you saw on Fox News or OWN or some of those conservative media outlets, then I've missed it, because I pretty much stick to the dreaded mainstream media outlets. So
Yeah, but my friend, I want to say something to you. I do watch Fox News, but I also jump over to CNN.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, I mean, because Fox News ain't always right, and CNN ain't always right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But if she did what they say that she was involved in, that's pretty low. I mean, you know, it just ain't healthy for our democracy. That's
Right.
one thing I'm going to say. You know?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and I get that. Of course, Hillary Clinton's no longer in power or anything, but I do understand. She's an ex officio, and so she does. Some public scrutiny is certainly
well,
deserved.
she's going to give a speech tomorrow for DNC up in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem. It's just like Bernie Sanders been down there forever. Biden's been down there forever. I think we need to come up with a system where they can't be down there forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I do think Supreme Court nominations for life, that's crazy. I mean, that was back when nobody lived past 50 much. We should have 20-year terms on the Supreme Court. We should have much more limited terms for senators. They just get old and die there. No, we should, maybe 2 or 3 terms. That's it. That's 18 years. That's plenty for anybody. For Congress people, I don't know what would be right. Maybe 5 terms. That would be 10 years. Something like that. We need a turnover in our electoral politics, and I think you and I can certainly agree on that.
Yeah, well, hey, Butch, how long do you think it would take for you and me to straighten out this country?
I think you and I work on it a little bit, and we'll have them. I'd say by 2203.
Well, we got to get Tom involved in this for recess.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll go into recess.
Hey, I'll
right
talk
now.
to you all later. You have a good day.
Thank you so much for your call, Durbin. I appreciate it. I always love it when callers come in and contribute to the conversation a little bit.
Well, see, my mother used to always say, we have built-in term limits. If you don't like what they're doing, you vote them out.
But it hasn't been working. When you agree, we hate Congress. Congress has a 4% favorability rating, and yet we keep re-electing our same damn Congress people.
When they do it, they'll ask a survey. They'll ask everybody, what do you think of Congress? Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah. But they're thinking of everybody else's congressperson.
Yeah. But then they say, what about your representative? Oh, well, my guy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what really floored me was that shooter walking into a Louisville campaign headquarters and attempting to assassinate the Democrat that is running for mayor.
Yeah.
Kentucky is like losing its mind.
It is. It's the new Florida. It's just crazy.
Yeah, except it's not warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can always blame Florida with, overexposure to the sun or something. But,
Yeah, what's their excuse? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And Rand Paul, the latest rants he's been on, that man is...
He's off the rails.
nuts.
Yeah, he's definitely
nuts.
off the rails. And, it makes me nostalgic for his father, who was so much more sensible. A little crazy.
His dad.
I liked him too.
I mean, I don't know that I would have voted for
Yeah,
him. But,
same here.
You know,
But
I liked
I
him.
liked him. He was outspoken and kind of feisty. But yeah, but Rand Paul is just crazy. His anti-science stance is just
And he's a
unbelievable.
doctor.
He's a doctor.
That's
right.
what is,
I know.
you know, if he were just
Yeah. Just,
somebody, you know, I don't want to cast aspersions on any collective group.
I know. I try to do that too, but we do sometimes.
Well, but he, you know, he's a doctor. He should understand this stuff.
He should have a higher ethical charge than your average senator too, because of his medical background and knowledge. He should be explaining to his constituents that a vaccination can protect you from serious illness, things like that. Just crazy, unbelievable. Well, hey, listen, let's get to a couple of fun things before we wrap up here. Well, this is not that fun, but it is kind of in that Ivan Reitman died, and that's never fun. But what was fun was his life. He was behind some of the biggest movie hits of the late 70s and throughout the 80s and even into the 90s. He was the producer of National Lampoon's Animal House, and he was the director of Meatballs, which starred Bill Murray, his very first film. Also, Stripes, another Bill Murray vehicle, came out a couple of years later. And probably his biggest success was the original Ghostbusters, which was a major hit. And his son, Jason, actually just directed Ghostbusters Afterlife that came out, I think, late last year. Reitman had been ill. His death wasn't unexpected, but it was, he's being mourned by a lot of people in the entertainment community. Among his other big hits were he cast Arnold Schwarzenegger in a comedy called Twins with Danny DeVito.
That was hilarious.
Was it good? Yeah.
Yes.
And Kindergarten Cop was also one of
Yes.
them too. My favorite of all of them was one that wasn't that popular, but it was called Dave. It was a political comedy about a stand-in president played by Kevin Kline. That was very good too. But anyway, I want to just pay tribute to Ivan Reitman and say, hey man, thanks for the fun. It was you really made life just a little bit better.
You see, you don't have to take life as so serious,
Right,
you know? I mean, if we didn't have those kind of shows or movies to go to and just release, I know people that know dialogue from those things, you know, but, it's just a great release. You don't have to walk out thinking, the weight of the world has just been dumped on me.
Right. It provides us relief and enjoyment, and I think I've been going through this because I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm getting a little older, and I am, yeah, and and sometimes I get a little retrospective and think, what have I done in my life? What have I contributed to the world? And sometimes I can get real down on myself. You know what? I haven't really done crap. Okay, I taught, but so I've sold stuff. I've been in advertising, and I don't know if that does the world much good. What else? Okay, I've written a whole lot of comedy shows, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Did it make any difference in the world? Did it change anything? No, it didn't. It didn't.
You made some people very happy.
I do have that. I feel like people came to see us for more than 25 years consistently. They laughed. They had a good time. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe that's what I did, was just relieve people a little bit once in a while. And it's not just me. It's me. I don't want to make it sound like it's all me. I work with other people. I work with some of the funniest people around. So,
Yes, you do.
So I am privileged to work among them. So I guess that could be my legacy. Okay, real quickly before I'm out of here, because we are almost out of time, one last bit of shameless self-promotion. Mystery Theater Unlimited's dinner theater production of Indiana Smith and the Restaurant of Doom will be presented tomorrow at River City Restaurant in downtown Wheeling. It's a dinner theater format, and it's comedy. It's great fun. The show starts at 7 o'clock, and we're also going to do it on Friday night, and this will be at a banquet hall in Grandview Park in Moundsville. To make your reservations for either of those shows, just call the number, River City's number. That's 304-233-5655. 4555. It's original comedy, murder mystery dinner theater. It's called Indiana Smith and the Restaurant of Doom. Really, really funny stuff.
That River City really appreciates
They're the Restaurant of
that.
Doom. Yes, they're both the Restaurant of Doom. Well, it's a different restaurant. It's not this one. Anyway, if you'd like to, you might have been saying to yourself for all these years, I'm going to go see one of these days. Well, why not tomorrow or Friday? I know the shows are going to go. We've already got a good amount of reservations. We still have room for you. So if you're interested, come on out and see us. Otherwise, I will talk at you next week at the same bat time, same bat station. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the warm weather today and the rain tomorrow. I'll talk to you next week.